Hello Channel NITT viewers, I am DS, your psychologist, and welcome to another episode on Channel NITT. So it has come to my attention lately that many psychology students that come to the college, they are not really prepared for psychology. There may be a lot of reasons for this. First, the psychology students that came in have a misconception of psychology. It is also possible that when institutions try to compete for this pool of students, they portray the image that psychology is something that is very hot now, but it's actually also very easy to study. But the fact is, psychology is not an easy subject at all. It is very theoretical in nature. So besides having a lot of things to know and memorize, as a psychological student, you also need to be good in biology and statistics. A lot of people, they do not do well in college, they drop out because they don't do well in science and maths, and yet they want to do psychology. But luckily, the biological component and the statistical components are only independent components. Most of the other psychological modules that you might encounter may not really need you to know much about biology and statistics. Since psychology is the study of human behavior and human behaviors may be influenced by biological factors, definitely you have to know a little bit about biology. But biology is not all difficult. Let's talk about something psychologists study in the area of biology that may not be really difficult to understand. So for today, I've chosen the topic of nerves. Nerves, yes. So distributed all over your body, especially over your hands, your feet, are nerves. The purpose of the nerves is to transmit information in the form of impulses to your central nervous system and ultimately to the brain, and the brain will interpret the information and make relevant decisions. One thing to note though, nerves are not distributed evenly all over your body. Nerves are concentrated over areas where you might be exposed to more stimuli than usual, such as your palm. So very simply, you will have more nerves over here, nerve endings, as compared to your arm, because you seldom will get to touch things using this part of your body, right? But nonetheless, there will still be nerves over here. It is just that the concentration of nerves on your palms and on your feet will be much higher than usual. So what information is transmitted by the nerves? There are 5 broad categories of information that is transmitted by the nerves. The first information that is transmitted is location. So imagine you are blindfolded and then somebody pokes you. You will know that whether the person is poking over here or here or here. Even acupuncturist is placing some needles on you, unless you don't have nerves at all, you will know where the needles are. The second information that is transmitted is that of temperature. This one is needless to say because the purpose of nerves is to transmit information, especially important information will be transmitted at high speed. If you have touched a hot plate, immediately you don't even need the information to pass through to your brain. Your peripheral nervous system will make the decision to retract your hand away from the hot plate to protect your hand. But not all the time temperature is a dangerous thing. Sometimes you are dipping yourself into a cold swimming pool. You need to mentally adjust using your brain to get into the pool as slowly and comfortably as possible. The third information that is transmitted by the brain is intensity, sometimes also known as pressure. So you will know whether you are hit by a blunt force or a sharp force. So this is where you know that it is painful or not so painful, whether the sound is loud or not so loud, because your nerves can transmit information about intensity. Another piece of information that your nerves is able to tell you is the nature of the stimuli. So for example, let's say you are touching something, you know whether it's wood, plastic or wool even when you are not looking. Of course, in this case, I'm using the example of your palm a lot, but nerves can be everywhere, on your tongue as well. So if you are tasting something, your nerves will be able to tell you what that food is, even if you are blindfolded. Your body is a very marvelous piece of art, especially your brain. So all the nerves will send information to the brain, right? So the brain actually will also get a last piece of information from your nerves. This is a very interesting one, it's called intention. So when somebody is touching you, the nerves will transmit the information whether this intent is malicious. So is it a molest or is it a tickle? So sometimes when somebody is touching you, you don't feel right, and then you should trust it because the nurse is transmitting this correct information. So that summarizes what your nurse does for you. So this is only one of the things that psychologists may study in the section of biology. Of course, this is one easy section in biology. There are a lot of other sections such as genes, neurotransmitters, the brain. This may be much more complicated. So if you are really bent on studying psychology, be prepared. But of course, for the general viewers, I hope that this is interesting for you as well. So at Channel NITT, we produce a lot of MBTI videos, but we are also a psychology channel. So we are going in the direction of producing more psychology-based videos as well. So if you have enjoyed this video, do give us a like. And if you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing so that we can bring you more psychology and fun stuff. Alright, I'm going to sign off now and I'll see you in our next episode. Bye bye!